Welcome to Super Bloom, your opportunity to learn about the mind, the body, and how they connect. I am Rosie O. I am passionate about bringing people together to learn. I love studying about the body, and I will be a lifelong student of philosophy. In this pod, we explore all things related to the power of the mind and to the purpose of this life, this physical human existence. I believe we all possess the ability to thrive. We just have to learn how to tap into our life force, our creative energy. I am here to introduce unusual ideas to evoke thought, curiosity, and ultimately to help strengthen our relationships with each other. We can realize our full potential once we wake up the wisdom in our bones and activate that innate ability to thrive. Have you ever looked in the mirror and asked yourself, who am I? Seriously considered, who am I without work, your family, or material things? When you look at your face, in the reflection, do you see your mother's Slavic cheekbones and your father's round Sicilian nose? Or can you see through your exterior, into your eyes, and deeper still, through to your heart space, to what you value in this life? Do you look at yourself and immediately think of areas on your body or in your life that you want to change? Or do you give yourself a big smile because you see how amazing you are at riding the waves of this wild life? Are you someone who considers astrological influence for how you live your life, like your zodiac birth chart or when the moon cycles from new to full? Do you attribute DNA and the environment in which you were raised for your personality traits and to explain why you live your life as you do today? In addition to these questions, have you ever questioned why you believe what you believe about how you behave in a relationship or as an employee, your role as a woman, as a neighbor, or how you expect certain people to conduct themselves in certain situations as a manager, father, or caregiver? What are some of the beliefs or values that were instilled in you as a child? How did your mother or father model parenting? Do you think they enjoyed it? Do you remember them playing with you? Or do you remember feeling like you pined for attention as a child? These answers are all clues as to why you believe what you believe. What you value is actually your truth. Like the energy that moves the hands of a clock, your beliefs dictate what makes you tick. Do you feel threatened or react with aggression when your beliefs are challenged? Like when someone shares an opposing political view in your presence or directly expresses a negative judgment about how you're handling a situation in your own life? Even if you initially experience feelings of resentment, do you dwell there and completely shut down emotionally to separate yourself from that person? Or are you able to see the moment of discomfort as an opportunity to question your beliefs, dig into your values, and get clear on why you feel the way you do? As you witness your discomfort and ask yourself the deeper questions, are you able to adjust your views? Are you willing to explore and discover new parts of yourself? If I asked you to describe yourself and your guiding principles in life, how would you reply? What would you say? Would you say you're someone who approaches challenges head on with an intention to grow from the experience? When initially faced with a stressor, do you find there is a transitionary period of discomfort? When we allow ourselves to feel discomfort in the moment, emotions surge, and it is important to breathe into the emotions. But it's this space to feel that's the greatest gift you can give to yourself in that moment. Trust that in the moment of discomfort, there is an opportunity to learn something new about yourself. And if you still feel resistance, breathe into that. Maybe write down what's coming up or just talk out loud to the ethers what you're feeling about the situation that brought up the discomfort. It is possible that your beliefs originate from what you hear on repeat in the news, around your family's dinner table, and from the media you consume. Becoming aware of your core beliefs and the difference between them and the beliefs you adopt subconsciously with what you are subjected to daily is how you can identify what is your truth. When faced with a challenge, how do you respond? Do you reach out for help? Do you refuse to accept the challenge and ignore it? Or do you tackle it head on, full speed ahead? What is your approach to handling the discomfort? Your natural response is a direct correlation to what you believe. For example, if you hit traffic on the way to an appointment, how do you typically handle that? Are you someone who believes you should always show up early and feel stressed that now you will not arrive as early as planned? Or does this cause stress because you're someone who wants to arrive exactly on time and now you will be late? Or are you someone who just needs a few moments to breathe and reset to see the traffic as an opportunity to slow down and enjoy the ride? Now, consider your values in a broader sense. From the seat of your truth, when you look out with your unique lenses, how would you describe what you see when you look at the world as a whole? Do you see all the major disruptions to our planet as one tragedy after the next? Are you feeling scared and worried about the unknown future? Or can you also see the bigger picture and wonder if these are necessary dark times to get our globe as a whole to a place of cohesion? It isn't always easy, but I do my best to stay removed from the daily news. If something major happens, it will appear in my social media feeds, but I make an active choice every day not to subscribe to any news channels. I do tune into the astrological happenings each week and attune to the moon and its cycles, but I steer my attention away from global current events as often as possible. When we consume information of any sort, it will trigger our emotions. When we see those images, read that text, or listen to that discussion or lecture, we will naturally experience an emotion in response to the content, be it a sensation of joy, sadness, pain, or excitement. As the feeling comes over you, it's a choice to ignore the sensation and bury the feeling, or to sit with it and eventually let it move through you. When something especially disturbing crosses my path, like all the unexplained deaths in the world right now, I feel sadness for those left to grieve their loved ones lost. Once I feel like I have embraced that emotion of sadness, I bring my awareness into my heart space and send love to the hearts of those grieving. This practice of sending my love out to those in pain is one that became a daily habit while I was pregnant with my daughter. Because all the pregnancy books I was reading talked about how your baby can feel your emotions, I wanted to do everything I could to create a calm environment for her inside of me. I was pregnant during the COVID craze of 2020 and into early 2021. So there were many reasons to feel panicked and fear about the uncertainty of the future. By making it my intention to send the energy of love to the things that frightened me, I felt more peace in my heart than fear. When a reason to worry creeped into my mind, I would acknowledge it, dig into what I was so afraid of actually happening, and then focus my energy on imagining an outcome that was for my greater good. Let's try it together now. Think of a worry or fear you've been harboring lately. Or maybe it's more of a feeling of doubt or dread about something. Imagine what your greatest fear is. Is it losing your home? A person in your life? Or a situation where you would fear public embarrassment? Allow yourself to feel the emotions and sit with them. It may be very uncomfortable, but give yourself a few moments longer than you think you can to just be here with your fear. Now, getting comfortable in your seat, or if you're standing, bring your right hand over your chest and layer it with your left hand. Take a deep breath into the heart center of your body. Imagine there's a nose on your chest and you inhale from there, bringing energy in through your heart space. And then open your mouth and let out your breath as a sigh. Take a few more breaths in through the imaginary nose on your chest and out through your mouth with an audible sigh. Close your eyes and feel the exhale breath wash over your hands, breathing deeply to clear space and so you can connect in with the rhythm of your heart. Keep breathing in and out of your imaginary nose on your chest, closing your mouth and letting your breath begin to soften. As you continue to breathe deeply and softly, can you hear the beating of your heart? Keep your hands here for as long as you'd like to feel the sensation and to remind you to breathe from this heart space. Or gently rest your palms on the top of your thighs, or if you're standing, by your sides. And coming back to that image or fear you experienced. Imagine an outcome where you are smiling, feeling confident, content, and at peace. I see the world as a place for souls to connect through their heart spaces. When we are in pain, many of us instinctively push others away, like a wounded animal who feels vulnerable. But it is in these moments of pain and vulnerability that our hearts are really seeking the love and support of another. Getting to a place where you feel safe to share your heart may be a challenge. A good place to start is with yourself. Begin by noticing how consistent you are in your views and judgments of yourself. Do you see yourself differently through the perspective of another? To test it, think of a recent self-doubting moment. Now, if you shared the self-sabotaging thought with a kind-hearted friend, someone who can always lift your spirits, what insight do you think they would offer that would help you release the judgment of yourself? If you came up with something to switch your frame of thinking just now, then you just proved to yourself that you do see yourself differently through the eyes of another. You also prove that you can flip a switch in your mind to see yourself in a new light if you want to. Have you ever wondered if you are living in a self-created box? Considered if you have created a life for yourself with inaccessible expectations and limited beliefs? I have been asking myself lately why age matters. When I say that I am a new mom in her 40s, does that tell you anything specific? Is the age part even relevant? I mean, maybe. I have friends who are grandparents, so being a mom in her 40s means I have friends who have been parents for over 2 decades. And it also means that I have been living my adult life without a child for over 20 years. So yes, age matters in the sense of number of years for potential life experiences, but not everyone is going to have experienced the same things by the same age. So age only gives us an idea of the potential for life experiences so far. Comparing myself now in my 4th decade of life to when I was in my 20s, I am a lot more confident and comfortable in my skin. Things still get under my skin, but I have way more tools now to help myself process the uncomfortable or upsetting moments than when I was younger. I remember wanting to prove my worth and feel validated for my achievements, which in retrospect left a lot of room for disappointment. With the years of experience with life's ups and downs since then, intimate relationships, career shifts, new homes, trips, and all the adventures, I have realized in order for life to feel like it's mine, it has to be by my rules and no one else's. Are you consistently the same person inside and outside of your head? Or are there different versions of yourself that are expressed dependent on who you are interacting with at the time? Do you play different roles when you act the part of mother, father, spouse, partner, sister, uncle, grandfather, friend, employee, or chief of operations? Are there different hats you will wear to fulfill what you perceive as expectations for each role? And are there roles in which you feel completely natural, while with others there is friction to fulfill what feel like duties? Do you say the same thing to yourself as you would to a coworker when a mistake is made on the job? Or do your expectations vary based on the experience level of the individual and of yourself? Have you ever explored the reasons you believe a business owner or teacher should behave a certain way to be a good leader? Or why your friend should have told you they were struggling emotionally instead of ghosting you? You may not be cognizant of it yet, but there are ideals we each have that govern the way in which we interact with the world. Mental boxes we place on others and frames in which we expect ourselves to live. Boxes that define our values and what matters most to us, but also boxes that limit our views of the world and how far we aim with our personal aspirations. As a 40-year-old first-time mom with a 2-year-old daughter, I feel like I'm on the threshold of becoming unboxable. There are mental boxes I have outgrown these past few years, living what feels like a brand new life. I want to love my life to the absolute fullest while this little human watches and learns everything about the world from the way in which I live. But can a mom who is raising a daughter alone still aspire to travel the world? Do I have to conform our lifestyle to one that is mainstream and more structured? Or can we build a life where we spend most of our days enjoying time together outdoors in nature, meeting new people? And when you spend so much time alone with your child, do you need time apart too? What are your reactions to these questions? Why do you think you answered yes or no to these questions? Have you ever considered what is your predisposition? Not just your astrological sign, but the culture in which you were raised. What was it like for you? And who was your primary caregiver? What values were instilled in you as a child in regard to family life and work life? Did you have siblings or lots of family always in your home? Or was it quiet, just you and your parent or guardians? Did you travel with your family? Was it for pleasure? Or did your parents move to find work? How you were raised will affect whether you are drawn towards or repelled away from an experience or environment in your life today. Also, who you intrinsically are from birth, combined with life experiences, will determine whether you unconsciously repeat what you learned, or if you will choose the opposite path and create a new life experience for yourself. Depending on whether you prefer to be alone in social settings, whether you tend towards physical activities outside or enjoy long naps and curling up with a book indoors, your response when asked what family means to you will vary. I have realized with my non-conventional parenting style, calling it non-conventional is actually putting my ways of caring for and nurturing my child into a box. My new mantras are, every parent is unique, and each of us is on our own path. Repeating these words to myself helps me be gentle with myself as I navigate new challenges. Instead of judging the way I am raising my daughter compared to other families I know, I kindly observe how I feel after I've solved a new problem, and I let that feeling be the gauge for whether I'd like to adjust my response to something similar in the future. I'm learning how to trust that my intuition is always guiding me. Another saying I repeat lately is, do it with love. And this saying, combined with a relaxation exercise called box breathing, helps to ease stress and keeps me calm in situations that require extra energy. Like when my sweet and sleepy 2-year-old, who was eating rice from my plate sitting on my lap, abruptly shifts personalities into a thrashing, striking wild child because I said no to her request to drink the salty brag sauce from its bottle. I take a deep breath in, hold it in as I back away from the table, and with an exhale, lovingly use a soothing voice to ask her if she feels angry because she would like more salty sauce on her rice. This acknowledgement of her feelings and desire will usually stop the tantrum if she's more hungry than tired. And then I can help her use her developing language skills to get what she desires, like savory flavors or holding a cool shaped bottle, in a way that will minimize the mess and wasted food. And this way, I also feel good at the end of our meal. Let's practice this easy and highly effective box breathing exercise together. In addition to helping you respond from a loving place, the Navy SEALs value this specific 4-part breath, also known as square breathing, as a way to improve concentration in extremely tense situations. The basic concept is to visualize drawing the 4 sides of a square with your breath. You will inhale up one side, hold your breath across the top, exhale down the other side, and hold out the breath as you imagine the bottom line of a square. We will use a 4-beat count, or the time it takes to say 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi for each of the 4 sides. This inhale is through your nose and the exhale is out your mouth. To make it interesting, I like to imagine my inhale bringing in calming vibrations and the first few exhales as an opportunity to release tension in the body. To prepare, start by first taking a few breaths in and out, bringing in awareness to your breathing. Without making any changes yet, just notice if there's depth to your inhale and the natural way that you're exhaling. On the next inhale, bring it in through your nostrils, and when you're ready, slowly exhale through your mouth. Begin to slow down your inhale and gently extend your exhale. Now, bring in a breath deep into your belly, allowing your belly to fill up and extend as you hold it in for a moment, and then letting it out. Empty your lungs completely. Pause before breathing in and just notice how it feels to be empty of breath for a moment. And then draw in another inhale through your nose, down into your belly, pausing before you send the breath back out. Let's bring the count to this now, using 1 Mississippi, counting to 4 on all sides of the square. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath in for 2, 3, 4. Exhale the breath out for 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath out. Be on empty for 2, 3, 4. And then breathing in again. 2, 3, 4. Holding that breath in on full for 2, 3, 4. Now exhale slowly out the mouth. 3, 4. Hold that breath out for 2, 3, 4. And keep going and just let the pace match what feels best for you, allowing all 4 sides of breath to match in length as you count up to 4. Just focus mostly on the top when you breathe in and hold, and at the bottom after you exhale, holding the breath out. Experiencing a sensation of empty before bringing the breath back in through the nose. These pauses in between breaths are when we are calming down our internal nervous system. The deliberate breathing is signaling to our sympathetic nervous system that it's okay to turn on the parasympathetic rest and digest function of the brain so it stops producing cortisol and moves out of the fight and flight mode. Our box breathing is signaling to our body that we are safe now and enables our vital systems in our body to turn back on. Our slower, deliberate breathing calms the heart and blood pressure, which will help us think more clearly. Our bodies, they don't know the difference between external stressors, like a toddler screaming in your face, versus the internal stress caused by thinking about a financial hardship. All types of stress activate our sympathetic nervous system, and each should be countered with a relaxation practice as soon as we notice the fight-flight sequence has been activated, or once we've accomplished the start of our day, or we are no longer in danger of physical harm. Keep breathing, but release the count of 4 and just notice if you can sense that sensation of turning off the fight or flight, this feeling of calm. Taking even 1 deep breath will help you reconnect with the state of your nervous system, especially when experiencing feelings of anxiety or overwhelm, since in those moments, you are likely barely breathing at all. Checking in with your breath throughout the day is a great place to start for cultivating an awareness towards what causes you stress. A lot of the time, the stress is rooted in our heads. Judgments and narratives about how an exchange was handled playing on repeat. These are mental boxes we trap ourselves in when we let our minds repeat on a loop. Unboxable means you stay fluid and open when the mind tries to close you off. In a broader sense, unboxable means we cannot determine everything about a person or the trajectory of their life just by learning a bit about their age, upbringing, gender, zodiac sign, or their current profession. When we live outside of the box, we are non-conforming to socioeconomic expectations, which means we release blocks to the unlimited potential within each of us. Our words and thoughts are what box us in. When we think we are not good enough for a dream job, a loving partner, the family life we desire, or a new home, these thoughts of inadequacy emote lower energy vibrations. Test it. Instead of thinking about what you don't want or don't have, imagine yourself sitting in a chair at the desk of your dream job, or envision yourself performing on that stage of your dreams. See yourself on the deck of your dream home looking up at the sky. Visualize yourself surrounded by a loving family and friends, all smiling and laughing together. Can you let yourself do it? Really open up to what your heart desires? Or does it feel silly and pointless to dream about something you do not think you can ever really have? Have you already decided dreams are impossible? If so, there is science to back up why. Our brains are wired to protect us and keep us safe. So when a new concept doesn't line up with our current values or beliefs, the reticular activating system, the RAS in the brainstem, doesn't allow it in. This reticular formation is a bundle of nerves in the brainstem, and its purpose is to filter the information coming into your brain. It's like a gatekeeper validating the information and ultimately determining how we perceive the world. The function of the RAS is also to regulate our sleep patterns when we activate the fight-flight response and our ability to focus. If it's difficult for you to dream about a future with unlimited possibilities, it's likely because your RAS is functioning optimally and preventing you from seeing a new perspective. If you want your brain to turn off its protective mode, start focusing your brain on that experience you know in your heart that you desire, or that relationship, or that job, or that thing. This will drive your conscious mind and eventually your subconscious to connect with this new belief. So try it again. Think about a part of your life that you'd like to change with your health, your living circumstances, or perhaps with your partner, and bring your hands to your heart and ask yourself, what do I really want? Now, if you're in it and you're dreaming, how does it feel when you imagine having what you really want? That experience of that place with that person or doing that thing. What are the emotions, the sensations? Living in your dream home, surrounded by your loving family, or traveling to that far off place. Are you grateful? Joyful, content? Is there a sensation of peace and calm in your heart? Can you smell the apple pie in the oven of your dream kitchen? Do you hear the birds chirping outside of the window on the first stop of the trip you've dreamed about taking around the world? Can you feel the texture of the clothing your new partner is wearing as you wrap your arms around their neck in an embrace? I imagine myself in a new home with panoramic views of the outdoors. It's spacious inside, and I can hear a ball bouncing. My children are giggling as they run circles around the center of the house, and there's a dog barking playfully. There are sweet sounds of piano drifting into the sunroom where I'm basking, and I can also hear the ocean waves as they gently lap against the shore. When I immerse myself in this image, I can smell the sweet ocean air. I can see myself breathing calmly, smiling while I lay there under the warm afternoon sun. I feel happiness in my heart, a deep satisfaction in my soul, contentment, and a sensation of love that is bigger than the whole universe. Life these past 2 years as a mother has brought many judgments of myself to the surface. I actively played catch with myself, so I remember to grab any negative thoughts and release them. In order to break free from these limitations in my head, I choose to see judgment as a mental challenge to be faced, held, and released. This is when we experience real growth. Judging is like putting an imaginary box around someone or something. It's natural for our minds to make judgments. It's healthy to cross-reference what we see, hear, and experience with our core values and beliefs. But allow yourself to create a new belief if your old beliefs are holding you back from your dreams or creating a barrier to your ability to understand a loved one. If you haven't discovered your core beliefs and values yet, take a moment next time someone or something irks you and ask yourself why. Dig in a little further and see if you can uncover where that belief is rooted. Ask yourself in that moment, does this belief line up with who I truly am? There are personality types and zodiac signs and elements related to those signs that give us insight into a person's behavior. There are birth charts and birthday books and love languages that all share insightful perspectives on why people behave the way they do. However, just because the day and month you were born classifies you as an earthly Taurus who pairs best with a fellow earth sign or water sign doesn't actually mean that you don't have a free will. You can defy the odds or change the norm and live happily ever after with a fire sign. These factors are small pieces of the bigger picture of you, the ever-evolving, totally unique you. Allow yourself to be unboxable. Imagine those you love to be free from mental boxes as well. If you feel uncomfortable about an exchange with someone, or after you read something in the news, put your hand on your heart, take a few breaths, and ask yourself, what is this showing me about my core beliefs? Use it as a moment to get closer to your own heart, your own values, and maybe even see it as an opportunity to expand your RAS and start daydreaming about a brighter you. Thank you for listening to the Super Bloom podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to express your appreciation to the host, you're welcome to tip via Venmo at RosieO19. Also, visit the website superbloompodcast.com to see videos and join the online community.
It's a super bloom. It's a super bloom. It's a super bloom.